This is the WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. Last night, the Huntingburg Utility Board and City Council announced the appointment of 54-year-old Greg Miller as the new superintendent for the city's water department. A native of Huntingburg, Miller is a graduate of Southridge High School and a Navy veteran serving as a machinist mate overseas. Prior to joining the Navy, Miller attended Nashville Diesel College, and he has served as chief operator of the Huntingburg Municipal Water Treatment Plant for the past 27 years. Miller says that he's honored to have been selected as the city's new water superintendent. He notes that it's a very busy time for the community with May projects underway and looks forward to the challenges ahead, and also looks forward to working with what he calls a great crew, utility board, and of course a mayor.
I've worked for the city for quite a while now, and it feels really good to be able to move forward with the city with all the projects we have going on. And like I said, I've got a great bunch of guys to work with, and just feel really good about working with everybody.
In a release, Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner says that through his many years of service with the city, Miller has proven himself to be a dedicated employee. Spinner says that he has no doubt Miller is qualified to take this next step in his career and to continue to serve the residents of Huntingburg. Miller's appointment takes effect immediately. Now, last night, the Huntingburg City Council listened to an update from Mayor Denny Spinner on the city's high-speed fiber internet upgrade. Last week, city officials gathered for a pre-engineering meeting with Perry Spencer Communications and Midstate Consultants. The pre-engineering work has already been completed by PSC and Midstates in working with the city on the pre-staking work to map the fiber system. After that's complete, in about 3 months, they will begin construction of the first phase of high-speed Huntingburg. The priority installation areas will revolve around stellar projects, namely Hunter's Crossing and also on 4th Street. Last night, the Ferdinand Town Council meeting was in full swing with a range of discussion points and recognitions. Ferdinand Chief of Police Lloyd Froman provided updates and ended with highlighting 3 selected individuals who applied to be reserve police officers. The Ferdinand Council approved the appointments of Riley Fleetwood, Stephen Zink, and Daniel Schrader. The 3 will now move on to the training process. Froman says that Fleetwood, Zink, and Schrader were given an orientation on training processes and department expectations. Training starts February the 23rd and is expected to be completed by March 17th. Those who successfully accomplish the pre-basic courses will then take part in a 160-hour officer training program. Also last night at the Ferdinand Town Council, they took the opportunity to recognize officers Ted Beaker and Rob Randall and presented each with an award for their everyday service and also highlighted a particular occasion where they saved a man's life. This past November, Ferdinand resident Donna Hickey found her husband non-responsive and urgently called for authorities. Ferdinand Town Council President Ken Seacard pointed out that the fact that the authorities responded within 41 seconds and counted CPR, helping Pat Hickey regain consciousness. And last night, the Ferdinand Town Council granted requests for $1,000 to be considered as an annual support fee for Ferdinand's participation in the DuBois County Leadership Academy. This program targets individuals to develop leadership skills in their own work. Town Manager Chris James says it's a Ferdinand-based program with the purpose of expansion and has grown to include the cities of both Jasper and Huntingburg, where each community contributes with the participation in the leadership group.
Not just be Ferdinand-based, but for the entire county. And we've been able to grow that through the contributions of Huntingburg and Jasper. Each municipality tries to have they get to put a candidate in the academy themselves, one of their employees, so they can, the mayors will say, this person would be a good fit for the academy, and put them through that and help boost them up, strengthen certain skills that they think they'll be able to develop and grow upon years down the line. And then it's just a matter, we work with HR departments of all the companies throughout the county and send them the information and say, in a sense, look through your roles. Who do you think would be a good fit for the academy? Again, it could be someone that has that title already, or it could be just an employee that people naturally gravitate toward. If there's an issue on the production line at one of the plants, instead of maybe running to the foreman or whatever, they look to this person and say, hey, this just broke, or what do we do here? They help them out, whether they have that title or not. And it helps build their skills even further, makes them even more valuable to their employer, possibility for growth, and just keeps them there and keeps them happy.
In order to take an active role in this leadership group, anyone interested must submit an application and should submit letters of recommendation as well. James says that it's a non-profit organization consisting of a board of directors that will help people who take on projects as teams to generate ideas and execute those ideas.
Every year, the teams, in a sense, disband after graduation. I mean, they kind of know the process of where their project is. If it's completed, all's good. Sometimes working through government agencies, they may have everything done, but they need that final sign-off from the city council or a county board, and then it can be finalized, and then they can kind of ride off into the sunset.
Now, James says that there is an effective system of overseeing a project into its development, and the people who participate also benefit in gaining valuable leadership skills. The highest level of Indiana Governor Mike Pence's administration is getting a shakeup, with Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann leaving to be replaced by former state Republican Party chairman. Pence announced Tuesday that Ellspermann would leave the state's #2 office and that he's nominating Eric Holcomb as her replacement. Ellspermann, a native of Ferdinand, says she has applied for the open position of president of Ivy Tech Community College and that she'll soon be stepping down after an orderly transition. Holcomb's nomination must be confirmed by the Republican-dominated legislature for him to take office. The afternoon event comes a day after Holcomb ended his 11-month campaign for the U.S. Senate seat, being vacated by retiring Governor Senate Dan Coats. Once Holcomb dropped out, speculation began that he was being recruited by Pence to replace Ellspermann as he prepares for this year's race against Democratic John Gregg. Holcomb served once as the Indiana Republican Party chairman and was also an aide for Senator Dan Coats and former Governor Mitch Daniels. Indiana's outgoing lieutenant governor says that she hasn't been assured that she'll be selected as the new president of Ivy Tech Community College. She says that the Ivy Tech job would allow her to influence the state's workforce training and economic development. Ellspermann says that the selection of a new president is a decision that will be made by the Ivy Tech Board of Trustees, and that it will be do so in its own time. The Ivy Tech trustees are all appointed by the governor. Current Ivy Tech president Thomas Schneider announced in September that he would retire this year after nearly a decade leading the 90,000 student system. Ellspermann also said that she recognizes Holcomb's work in the public service sector that will translate well if he takes on the role of lieutenant governor. Jasper's Memorial Hospital and Healthcare Center recently received 5 stars for the quality of total knee replacement, total hip replacement, and hip fractures treatments from the Health Grades, the leading online resource helping consumers make informed decisions in order to find the right doctor, the right hospital, and the right care for them. Now, this is the 2nd consecutive year for the 5-star total knee replacement designation and the 3rd consecutive year for the 5-star total hip replacement and hip fracture designation. Also, from 2012 to 2014, patients having total knee replacement in hospitals with 5 stars on average have a 64.9% lower risk of experiencing a complication while in the hospital than if they were treated by hospitals with only 1 star. This achievement is part of the new findings and data released on healthgrades.com and in the Healthgrades 2016 report to the nation. For its analysis, Healthgrades evaluated approximately 40 million Medicare inpatient records for nearly 4,500 short-term acute care hospitals nationwide and also assessed hospital performance relative to each of 33 common conditions and procedures. The Indiana State Museum officials have unveiled a wooden mallet they say that Abraham Lincoln used to make furniture when his family lived in southwestern Indiana during his youth. Chief Curator of Cultural History Dale Ogden said that Tuesday the bench mallet is a rare surviving artifact linked to Lincoln during the period when his family lived in Spencer County from 1816 to 1830. The mallet is inlaid with nails that form Lincoln's initials AL in the year 1829. He also says that certain of the mallet's authenticity, Lincoln would have used it to drive wooden pegs into furniture he and his father made. Ogden says an Evansville man whose ancestors knew Lincoln's family kept the mallet as a secret heirloom for 5 generations. That man has temporarily loaned the mallet to the State Museum. Make sure to keep it right here because up next we're going to take a look at your weather summary.